In this video, I'm going to go over the 4 basic peekaboo boxing jabs. Now let's begin. The first peekaboo boxing jab we're going to cover is what I call the standard jab. So from your peekaboo boxing stance, I'm going to drive off that rear foot, step forward, catapulting my body weight into my punch. And the jab is just going to go straight in. So if I show you right now, it's going to go straight in. I'm going to get behind that shoulder. And then, since this is peekaboo, after I always move my head 2 to 3 times after my last punch. So I will slip side to side. But just for the sake of the drill, I'm just going to slip once. Okay, so I'm here. I drive off, throw the standard jab, and then move my head. So against my opponent, he's just going to have his hands up so I can give you or show you how I use the standard jab. Okay, so when I'm facing my opponent, all right, I'm going to push off with that rear jab, poof, standard jab, and then I'm going to move my head. Okay, so we move around a little bit. I step in, poof. Remember, the peekaboo jab is a power jab. I'm not just flicking. I'm not flicking. It's not a range finder. None of that. Okay, I'm going in to hit him hard because my ultimate goal is to get him to shell up so I can get on the inside to throw my close quarter combinations, okay? So the standard, again, we're moving around like we're boxing. All right, I'm going to poof, move that head, and then move my feet. Okay, so I'm on the outside, poof, drive in, and move my head. That is the first jab, the standard jab. Peekaboo jab number 2 is going to be what I call the outside jab. So we're going to switch positions now. He's going to be on this side. So when I do the outside jab, I'm going to slip to my right-hand side, moving my head offline, throw the jab at the same time, but this time I'm going to turn the thumb down, okay, and really get the shoulder into it. So he's just going to stand there. I'm going to step in, drive in off that rear foot, poof, turn the thumb down, get the head offline. So if he threw a jab at me, he throws a jab, I'm going to jab, move my head away outside the jab, and jab with the outside jab on the inside. So he does it again. Boom. Okay, then I can move my head whichever way. Okay, so the first one was a standard jab. I'm just attacking him. Now the next one is the outside jab where I move my head, and it doesn't matter if he jabs or not. If he jabs, I'm out of position to do a stop hit on him, to hit him at the same time, or a counter punch. Okay, so let's review both of them now. So standard, boom, moving my head. Remember, I'm driving off, getting my body weight into the punch, right? And then the next one, he doesn't have to punch. I'm just going to boom. So if I'm sparring, let's say we're moving around, I'm working the standard jab, moving my head, then maybe outside. Standard, outside. I'm giving different angles with my head, keeping my opponent guessing. That is the second jab, which is the outside jab. The third jab is what I call the inside jab. So when you're facing your opponent, I'm going to slip to the inside. Like if he threw a jab, I'm going to slip to the inside. Okay? So he just locks it down. I'm going to slip and jab up at the same time. Okay? You can see where my fist almost looks like a vertical fist, but if I stood upright, it would be horizontal. So I'm in my stance. I'm going to drive in, again, off that rear leg. And then slip and jab at the same time, and then I can move my head afterwards, okay? So this is the inside. And because of I put that shoulder into it, it gives me a couple extra inches of reach, okay? This jab works really good against someone who has long arms, where if the standard jab, maybe you're getting hit with the jab, you can't hit him, but when he jabs, you can hit him at the same time, okay? So let's run through all 3 of them. First one's the standard. Moving my head. Second one's the outside. Moving my head. Third one is the inside. Moving my head. Okay? That is the third peekaboo jab, the inside jab. Okay, the fourth and final peekaboo boxing jab is actually the number 8, which is the body jab. So when you're facing your opponent, he's just going to lock it down, okay? Give me a target to hit. I'm going to aim for the body. So what I'm going to do is, just like the outside jab, which goes to the head, how I turn the thumb down, I'm going to turn the thumb down and go to the body. But this time I'm going to bend over, get my head outline, and get behind his shoulder. Okay, so when I'm here, I'm going to step in, poof, throw the 8 or the body jab. Okay, then I can move my head from there. So I'm here, poof, 8, move my head, I can slip side to side, or I can just go down, depending on where my opponent's at. If I hit him and he bounces back, I don't have to move my head 3 times. Remember, when you're moving your head, you want full range of motion. Okay, but in sparring, you can shorten it up and do less of it. Okay, but when you're drilling, you want to move your head 2 to 3 times, get in a habit of moving full range of motion. Now let's run through all 4 peekaboo jabs. So the standard, poof, moving your head. Outside, poof, inside, poof, and body, poof. Okay, one more time. So standard, outside, inside, body. So just to give you an example, let's say we touch gloves, we begin to spar with your opponent. The first thing I'm going to do is start working my jab, the number 7 or the number 8. So when we're here, see, poof, I can start working that jab. Go to the body, out, in, standard, body. Okay, so I'm controlling the outside range with my jab. It doesn't matter if they're short or tall. Okay, and eventually going to work my way in behind the jab, get my combinations off, and get on the inside so I can win the fight. Okay, I want to get my opponent to shell up so I can fire those hard inside combinations. That is the 4 basic peekaboo jabs with an opponent.